the Rubik Cube. It's possibly given you hours of frustration. You know what it's like. It's all carefully arranged, and then with a few simple twists, you find that it takes you hours to get it back in shape again. Unless you happen to be one of those brilliant people who can reassemble it in just minutes. I can't. That's not the first puzzle of that type to ever appear on this earth of ours. In fact, many years ago, there were puzzles like this that were very popular. Maybe you have one yourself. You know what they're like? In this case, the numbers slide, not in 3 dimensions, but in 2 dimensions. And the problem is to try and get them back in the right order. That can take you hours also. Some of them have letters on and they spell out words. Well, if you can't afford a Rubik Cube or a sliding number puzzle, you can make your very own poor man's Rubik Cube. Here's how you do it. You start with a plastic box, and a slide box is ideal because you'll find with most slide boxes, when you open them, they're divided into 2 compartments, and each compartment is exactly square. You only need one of those compartments, so you then take one of these very sharp knives and carefully slice down like that through the plastic. You notice I'm using a cutting board. And then across the base. Actually, if you bend it, if it's this pliable plastic, that'll make it easy to see where to cut. And then you cut across the base like that. And when you break it apart, you have 2 pieces that are almost perfectly square. Now in this case I left the little divisions on this side because that's the side I'm going to use. You do the same thing with the lid. Now in the case of this kind, the lid is a harder kind of plastic, and you'll have to work more carefully and it'll take you longer. But eventually you'll end up with half a lid, like so. So you now have a very neat little box which can close in that way. There we are, and all the bits stay inside. Or when you're ready to play the game, you simply open it, turn the lid around, push it together like that, and you have a square playing surface. Now the next thing to do is to take a piece of cardboard, thick cardboard, and cut a square that fits neatly inside your little plastic box. There we are, and you'll see that I've divided that square into 9 smaller squares, and those are going to be the pieces of your game. But before you cut them out, here's what you do. Take a red pen and colour the 3 on the left in red. Do it carefully, and you should end up with a neater job than I have here because I'm working in a hurry. There we are, 3 red squares. Then with your yellow pen, down the centre, 3 yellow squares. And on the right hand side you can use blue or any other colour you like for that matter, but only colour 2 of the squares. Leave one of them blank, and you'll see why in a moment. There we are. Now when you cut those out using, once again, either the sharp knife on a breadboard or a pair of heavy scissors, you'll end up with not 8 squares but 9. But throw away the little white one that you didn't colour in, and that gives you 8 working squares, and those are the pieces of your game. There we are. You then place them in the little box, and those are the sliding bits that make up your puzzle. Now if you want to, you can draw a little face or anything else you like on top of those squares. Here's one here. And that'll make your puzzle a little bit more interesting. There it is, 8 pieces arranged in those 9 spaces, 1 empty space, which means it's possible to slide the pieces across. And you can see what's happening now by sliding them one way and the other. What I'm doing is messing up that original picture, just as you mess up a Rubik Cube by moving the bits one way and the other. Well, as you know with the Rubik Cube, it's very easy to break the pattern, difficult to reassemble it. And you'll find the same thing with this little puzzle. You can easily move them round and in a few seconds completely destroy your picture and jumble up the colours, but it'll take you minutes or even hours to reassemble it, and it'll give you hours of fun, you and your friends.